Good morning. Welcome to today's class. Today we have discussed the tribal composition of Indian society. जनजाति मानकर भारतीय समाज गठन. So in tribal composition of Indian society, we have discussed about the tribe, their characteristics and meaning, and also tribal groups has been organized on the basis of different bases. For example, on the basis of geographical territory, on the basis of language, on the basis of race, and tribal composition on the basis of cultural development, and at last the composition of tribals on the basis of their economic development. On the basis of these points, we will discuss about the tribal composition of Indian society. You know, tribe is a collection of families or a group of people bearing a common name, and they speak a common dialects or languages, and also occupying a common territory, and usually endogamous in nature. Okay. So whenever the question arises about the tribe, so we know tribes are very innocent in nature. They are living a particular geographical territory or area. Generally, they prefer to live near the forest or near the hill or near the stream or any natural places where that natural place to fulfill their livelihood, their tribes. So, as tribe is a collection of families, so group of people or group of families, whenever they get together, and they must have bearing a common name, by which through their common name the tribes are identified and they distinguished from rest of the tribes through or by the distinction of a particular name. For example, Bunda, Gond, Toda, Bhuiya, Kondho. These are some names by where the members of a particular tribal groups or subgroups, they are recognized or identified. Okay. So in this way, one tribe may differ from another tribe. They speaking a common dialects. That means all the tribal peoples, a particular area who lives near that area, they communicate or interact with one another through a common dialects. সাধারণ ভাষা বা উপভাষা. Suppose Kondh, the tribal group, they are living in Kandhmal district of Odisha. They are Koi speaking people, their language Koi. So similarly, almost all tribes, they have special dialects or language through which all the members of particular tribes, they interact with one another. Say dialects বা ভাষা উপভাষা দ্বারা পরস্পর সহিত ভাবর আদান প্রদান କରିଛନ୍ତି. ତେଣୁ ଜନଜାତି ମାନଙ୍କର ଏକ ସାଧାରଣ ଉପଭାଷା ବା ଭାଷା ଥାଏ, ଯାହାଫଳରେ ସେମାନେ ପରସ୍ପର ମଧ୍ୟରେ କମ୍ୟୁନିକେସନ କରିଥାନ୍ତି. And also tribes, they are occupying a common territory. They must live within a particular area or locality. For example, in Nilagiri Hills, the Toda tribes, they live. Okay. Similarly, a particular place, Kadar tribes, they live in South India, Tamil Nadu, Jorwa, Sentinelese, Wonj, Nicobaris. These are the various tribes, oldest tribe. They live in Andaman Nicobar Island as an isolated region. So that They have the common territory where they live, okay, and also their identity come from through that territory, okay. Then they are usually endogamous. They forbid the exogamous principles of marriage. Endogamy is nothing. It is a principle of marriage. Whenever a particular individual of a particular caste or subcaste or tribe or subtribe marry either boy and girl within their own tribe or subtribe or subcaste or within their own community. This type of marriage is known as endogamous marriage. So, Indian marriage system basically endogamous marriage, because through endogamous principles of marriage, the Hindu marriage also takes place. So, exogamous marriage, suppose a particular sub-tribe will marry another tribe. This type of marital relationship is strictly forbidden. They are not practicing. It is a one type of or exogamous type of marriage is one type of taboo or prohibition বা নিষেধাদেশ জনজাতি মানଙ୍କର। ତେଣୁ ଜନଜାତି କେତେଗୁଡ଼ିକ ପରିବାରକୁ ନେଇ ଗଠିତ, ସେମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ପରସ୍ପର ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଘନିଷ୍ଠ ସମ୍ପର୍କ ଥାଏ ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ପ୍ରକୃତିର ଅଞ୍ଚଳରେ ଯଥା ପାହାଡ଼, ଝରଣା, ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ବା ଅରଣ୍ୟ ନିକଟରେ ସେମାନେ ବାସ କରନ୍ତି ଆଉ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଏକ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦିଷ୍ଟ ନାମ ଥାଏ ଯାହାଦ୍ୱାରା ସେମାନେ ପରିଚିତ ପାଇଥାନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଏକ ସାଧାରଣ ଭାଷା ଯାହାଦ୍ୱାରା ସେମାନେ ଜଣଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଅନ୍ୟ ଜଣଙ୍କର ଭାବର ଆଦାନ ପ୍ରଦାନ କରିଥାଏ। They have a special territory or single territory, particular territory where they lives or they are based and established through that territory. ଏବଂ ଜନଜାତି ମାନେ ଅନ୍ତଃଜାତି ବିବାହ ବା ଏଣ୍ଡୋଗାମସ୍ ମ୍ୟାରେଜଟାକୁ ପ୍ରିଫର କରନ୍ତି। Scheduled tribe whenever that tribe is affiliated or accredited or recognized by Indian Constitution, at that time we said that is scheduled tribe বা অনুসূচিত জাতি। So according to the latest census 2011, near about 80.6% of Indian population, total Indian population belongs to tribal groups. Near about 9% of people belongs to tribes. Then under Indian Article 342 define about scheduled tribe. संविधानर 342 धारारे जनजाति विषय वर्णित होइछि। So let us discuss about the tribal composition of Indian society on the basis of various factors or various bases. The first, the basis of tribals, we will discuss about the tribal on the basis of geographical territory or language and so on. And these are the tribal groups found in Indian society. They have a strong bond of unity established, or they have a strong feelings towards their own community. And the tribals, they cherish a particular culture so that the modes of behavior are regulated. So they cherish their own indigenous culture and the uses and cherish it. Also they handed over it from the succeeding generation. They are culturally homogeneous in nature. As the another unique features of tribal group, they have the dormitory system, the prevalence of dormitory. Dormitory means before marriage, a young tribal boy and girl, they will live together as a rehearsal, whether they will cope or accommodate or adjust with one another. If during staying for some week or some days or some month, if they will fit each other, they will manage, if they will manage adjustment with one another, so that they decide to take marriage. Okay. So before the prior to marriage systems, that the dormitory system is allowed or permissible for the tribal young boys and girls. Okay. If they will success in marriage, so that the dormitory system, they will withdraw from that dormitory system. Okay. If they will not cooperate or cope with one another, so that they may not marry. This type of dormitory service. Suppose in Gond tribes, their dormitory is known as Gotul. In this way, different tribal groups, they are practicing the dormitory system. And the most important factors, features of tribal groups, they are innocent and self-sufficient. They are very innocent and honest. They are far away from the modernity and modern complex society. So that they are innocent and very honest in behavior. And the tribes, they are also self-sufficient, each and every respect. They do not depend upon others. They oneself arrange or manage for their own affairs. They do not depend on outsiders, so that they are more self-sufficient in nature. Let us discuss on the basis of geographical territory. The tribals has been composed in various zones. Particularly, there are 5 zones. They are found or they live in these zones, these 5 zones, on the basis of geographical territory. भौगोलिक सीमारेखा को भित्ति करी जनजाति मानकर विभिन्न 5 प्रकार जोन रे विभक्त होइछे. The first zone, that is northeastern zone, that consists of both northern as well as northeastern part of India. Okay. So the areas which are coming under northeastern zone, that includes Punjab, East Kashmir, Assam, then Himachal Pradesh, Nagaland, northern Uttar Pradesh, Manipur, then Mizoram, Meghalaya, Tripura, and so on. These are the various states which are coming under northeastern zones. And the particular tribes or tribal groups, they also live in that areas or that states, like Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, Naga, Eka, Chilikuta, Mismi, Angami, Ewo, Chang, Gadis, Gujars, Kuki, and so on. These are the various tribal groups. They live in northeastern zones, and also within that states or zone, particular tribal groups, they are based in particular areas or states. For example, Naga tribes, they are exclusively they are found in Nagaland. Okay, they live in. Then Khasi, Jaintia, particularly the northeastern tribes, Khasi tribes, they found in Assam, Nagaland, Meghalaya, and these northeastern states. The special uniqueness or separate difference of Naga, Khasi tribes, they are matriarchal in nature because unlike other tribes, they are patriarchal in nature. In that tribes, Khasi tribes, the mother is the head of the family instead of father because their property inherited through female line from grandmother, grandmother to mother, mother to daughter, granddaughter, great granddaughter, and so on, female lines. Okay, so that family consists of grandmother, mother, their daughter, their daughters, children. This type of they consist of. So, in any crucial decisions will taken by the chief or head of the family. That means the senior most female member of that family. In this way, the Khasi families, they are matriarchal, matrilocal, and matrilineal in nature. Okay. So, in this way, then another tribes of these zones, they also live within that north and northeastern zone. Okay. Then the second zone on the basis of geographical territory among the tribes, that is central zone, that consists of central part of India. Okay. That central zone includes the area of Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, our state is also coming in central zone, Madhya Pradesh, and southern Uttar Pradesh. Not all the part of the Uttar Pradesh, the southern part only that is coming under the central zone. Then South Rajasthan also, then Gujarat and Maharashtra. These are the various states that are coming under the central zone. So that once again I remember you that the state of Odisha, those tribes who lives in Odisha, that Odisha state is also coming under the central zone. Okay. And also within these states there are various tribal communities or tribal groups, they also live within these states. For example, the tribes of Baiga, Gond, then Bhil, Kondh, Muria, Sabaro, Bhotia, Birhars, Kharia, Kol, Munda, Waran, Santal, and Barlis. These are the various tribal groups. They are based or they live in the central zone. So, you know that Gond tribes, that they especially live in Madhya Pradesh area, and almost all parts they live, but their base is Madhya Pradesh, MP. Okay. Then Bhil and the Meena tribes. You know that Bhil and Meena, these are the most important tribes. They exclusively live in Rajasthan states, because Rajasthan is also coming under the central zone. And Sabara, that also found in almost all parts, particularly they also found Bihar, Bengal, Odisha, our state also, Sabara in Raigada, in Karaput, these states also, Sabara tribe also found. Then Munda also found, Munda in Odisha, Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, their base also, Munda tribe, they also found. Munda, where the Birsa Munda movement started in Jharkhand as well as in Odisha, particularly in Sundargarh districts. So that Munda tribes, their base also in Sundargarh districts and also the neighboring Jharkhand, their base. Okay. Then Santal, Oran, Banlis, these are also various tribes they found in our state and these states like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, because these states also coming under the central zone, and these tribes also found within the central zone. So, on the basis of geographical territory বা ভৌগোলিক অঞ্চলକୁ ভিত্তি କରି তৃতীয় জোন বা অঞ্চল জনজাতি ମାନଙ୍କର সেটা ହେଲା ସର୍ଦର୍ନ ଜୋନ୍ বা ସର୍ଦର୍ନ ଜୋନ୍ରେ also consist of various states and different areas. For example, southern zone includes the area of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, etc. So these states, particularly South Indian states, they are known as southern zone. And also various tribes they found in southern zones, they are known as the Chenchu. I have already told you, Chenchu tribe is exclusively found in Andhra Pradesh, Chenchu tribes. Then Kadar tribes, they are also the South Indian tribe, particularly they live in Tamil Nadu. They are belongs to the Negrito racial groups. Okay, that Kadar tribes, Kanikar, Khariya, Munda, Santal, Toda, Badagaj, Kolam, Kotaj, Moflaj, Uralis, Jurup. These are the various tribes of southern zones. They live. You know that Munda, Santal, these are the various tribes which found almost all states like state of Odisha, Bihar, Bengal, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh. These are the various tribes of Munda, Santal found. And Toda tribes, that is a speciality, the Toda tribe which live or particularly found in the Nilagiri hill of Tamil Nadu. Okay. And they are based especially in Tamil Nadu. They are also belongs to Nordic racial groups. Okay. Then Moflaj, another important tribes, that the Muslim tribes, that they are known as Moflaj. The Mulberry Hill of Kerala state, in Kerala, the Mulberry Hill, that Moflaj Muslim tribe, they especially live in that tribes. Okay. Then Urali, Jurubo, these are also various tribal groups. They are also found in different parts of India. So rest on the basis of geographical territory, next zone that is known as Western বা পশ্চিমাঞ্চল. Western zone that includes the area of Rajasthan, Gujarat, West Maharashtra, Northwest Uttar Pradesh, and Dadra and Nagar Haveli, the Union Territories, Iceland. These are the states and various states and union territories. They are coming under Western zone, and the important tribes they live in Western zones includes Kuli, Mina, Dubia, Saharia, Bhil, Dhojia, Chaudhary, and Barlis, etc. These are the various tribes of Western zone. And among these tribes, particularly the tribes of Bhil and Mina, these tribes, their base is Rajasthan states. They live in Rajasthan. And Sahriya, Dhujia, Chaudhary, Bhalis, these almost all tribes they found within the western zone in different states and union territories. Okay. Then the next or last zone, isolated zone, on the basis of geographical territory, the tribal groups, the fifth zone, that is known as isolated zone বা নিষেধাঞ্চল বা that is isolated zones. Within the isolated zones, the union territory, particularly Andaman and Nicobar Island, Andaman and Nicobar Island, which is located in Bay of Bengal, that only UT coming under isolated zones. Okay. And the oldest tribes of India, they found within the isolated zone of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And almost all tribes, their numbers very less are countable. They are subject to extinction. ସେମାନେ ବିଲୟ ଅଭିମୁଖୀ, ସେମାନଙ୍କ ସଂଖ୍ୟା ଦିନକୁ ଦିନ ଦ୍ରୁତ ଭାବରେ ହ୍ରାସ ପାଇବାରେ ଲାଗୁଛି, ବିକଜ they are far away from modernity, modern world or modern civilizations. They still living as a wandering tribe, except jungle, forest, hill, they do not know other things, because that natural place, natural things that fulfills their livelihoods. So they are acquainted with the natures. And as an isolated zone, that is Bay of Bengal, various tribes also found. And these tribes, for example, Joruais, Oans, Nicobaris, Sentinels, and Sompens. These are the tribes of Andaman and Nicobar Island. Okay. And also another unique features of these tribes, they are belongs to the Andaman and Nicobar, which tribes found, almost all there belongs to Negrito racial groups, because there is various oldest inhabitants of that place. So nowadays their number is also rapidly decreasing day to day. Okay. So these are the tribes of isolated zone. And also on the basis of language, the tribal groups or tribes, they are divided into three linguistic families. कौन three linguistic families? Now, Sino-Tibetan linguistic families, then Austric linguistic family, and the Dravidian linguistic family. So classification of tribes on the basis of language, they are divided into three linguistic groups. First, we will discuss about the Sino-Tibetan linguistic group. The Sino-Tibetan, you know that Tibet, one of the states of India, neighboring India, also which located in between India and China. Okay, that Tibetan place. And the Sino-Tibetan linguistic family includes the tribal population of north and northwestern regions. Okay, in the northern part of India and northeastern states, the seven states groups, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Assam, Sikkim. These are the areas, north 7 northeastern states, and those tribes who live within that north and northeastern parts, they are belongs to Sino-Tibetan linguistic family. Okay. And the tribes of this family, Sino-Tibetan family, includes Bhutia, Naga, Mismi, Toto, Rian, Konwari, Khamti, Laholi, and Swangli. These are the tribes of north and northeastern parts. They are belongs to the Sino-Tibetan linguistic family. Okay. But the exception is that as all the tribal groups of this family speak in Sino-Tibetan language, but one exception is that the Khasi tribe. You know that Khasi is the northeastern tribes, which is matriarchal in nature, in family. I have already told you that Khasi tribes of this zone or region, they speak the Mamkin language. Mamkin language is the language of not Sino-Tibetan, but Austric linguistic family, that which spoken by the Khasi tribes, that Mamkin language, they are not belongs to Sino-Tibetan linguistic family, rather that belongs to Austric linguistic family. Okay. The second tribe, that is Austric tribes of central zone, particularly central zone. I have already told which areas are coming under central zones. That tribes like Mundari, Gondi, Kharia, Sabara, Ho, Bhil, Lodha, Munda, then Santal, then Kora, Juang, and Bhumij. These are the tribal groups. They are belongs to Austric linguistic family. Okay. But the exception is that, but the Gond and Kondh tribes, Gondo and Kondho tribes of this region, particularly in the central zone region, they speak in some language of Dravidian linguistic family. That means the Gond and Kondh, they do not spoke in that Austric language, rather they speak on Dravidian linguistic family. Okay. Then on the basis of language, the third linguistic family among the tribes, they are known as Dravidian linguistic group. Tribes of southern India or southern zone, particularly they speak in Dravidian languages. Okay. Such tribes in particularly southern zone or South India, they are belongs to Chenchu, Kadar, Gond, Toda, Korwa, Irukala, Kota, Malto, Bodoga, Bhatra, Dhru, Dorla, and so on. These are the various tribes of southern zone. They are belongs to Dravidian linguistic family. Okay. You know that the various tribes, Chenchu, then Kadar, Chenchu Andhra Pradesh, Kadar in Tamil Nadu, Gond in Madhya Pradesh, Toda in Nilagiri in Tamil Nadu. These are the various tribes. They are belongs to Dravidian linguistic family. Okay. And also the some tribes of this group or of this zone, particularly in southern zone, they also speak in Kannada, which is the language of Karnataka, Malayalam, which is the language of Kerala, Tamil is the language of Tamil Nadu, and Telugu is the language of Andhra Pradesh. These are the various languages which are also spoken by the tribals of southern zone of Dravidian linguistic family. Okay. So next, on the basis of race, there are various tribal divided into different racial groups. For example, classification on the tribes on the basis of race, Dr. B.S. Guha, the important anthropologist, has classified Indian tribes into 4 racial groups. They are known as Negrito, Mongoloid, then Proto-Asteroid and Nordics. These are 4 racial groups of tribes which is divided by Dr. B.S. Guha. Okay. So, the first Negrito, Kadar tribes of South India, particularly in southern states, Kadar tribes, and also Andaman Urali and Andamanese of Andaman Island, they are belongs to Negrito racial groups. Okay, because they are oldest tribes of India. Okay, their physical characteristics of these tribes, they are like short heights, they are black in color, they are broad lipped, chugda, otho, semanagoro, choto, height, এবং ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପୁରାପୁରି କଳା ଏବଂ ନାକ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଚଉଡ଼ା ନାକ, not so that's like ugly looking. So these are the physical features of these Negrito racial groups. The number 2, Mongoloid, tribes of northeastern Himalayan belt belongs to the Mongoloid race. Northeastern part, the Himalayan belt, that belongs to the Mongoloid race. Angami Naga belongs to the racial groups. There are so many tribes, but particularly Angami Naga, which is northeastern tribes, belongs to the Mongoloid race. Their physical characteristics, like they have medium height, neither long nor short, and they are yellowish in color. Isat haldiya semanaka rango. Their face also big fat face, and their hair is just like straight, like the pygmy who are living in the Congo areas. They are the Angamina, they are also hair cutting, hairstyle is just like straight hair. That is the features of Mongoloid race. Then Proto-Asteroid. Proto-Asteroid, the third racial group of tribes, particularly in central zone, belongs to the Proto-Asteroid racial group. For example, Zhuangs of Odisha, Kharia Ho of Bihar, Chenchu of Andhra Pradesh, Bhils of Rajasthan, I have already told you, belongs to this Proto-Asteroid racial groups. And their physical features, their brown color, their fat lip, chouda otho, spiral hair, kuchikuchiya balo, and broad nose, bodo nako, semanakar shaririko structure ba gothan. Ebang the physical streaks, these are the physical characteristics or features of Proto-Asteroid tribes. And the last or fourth classification of Dr. B.S. Guha, that Nordic race, the last one is Nordic racial groups, particularly Toda tribes of South India, particularly in Nilagiri Hill of Tamil Nadu, belongs to the Nordic race. Okay. So the physical characteristics of these racial groups, particularly Nordic racial groups, such as long height or tall height, they are rosy white. Then their very structure of nose is very beautiful, sundara nako. Lip also very thin and hairy body, balua sariro jak balo. So that these are the various physical features or characteristics of Nordic race. And tribal composition of Indian society on the basis of cultural development. Dr. Elvin, important scholars, has classified Indian tribes on the basis of cultural development into 4 classes, such as category 1, category 2, category 3 and category 4 in this way. Category 1 members of this class are very primitive, माने बहुत पुरातन and innocent, okay, and lead a communal life. They prefer to live in a group life, not isolated life, okay. एकत्र बास କରିବାକୁ ସେମାନେ ପସନ୍ଦ କରନ୍ତି and they are isolated, ନିସଙ୍ଗ ଏକାକୀ ସେମାନେ ବାସ କରିବାକୁ ପସନ୍ଦ କରନ୍ତି। ଦଳ ହିଁ ସଂଘବଦ୍ଧ ଭାବରେ ନିରୋଳା ବା ଏକାକୀ ବାସ କରିବାକୁ ସେମାନେ ପସନ୍ଦ କରନ୍ତି। This class people cultivate the land with the axe ବା ମାଟିକୁ ଖୋଳି ଏକ୍ସ ଦ୍ୱାରା କେମିତି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଚାଷ କରେ ସେ ଟୁଲ ୟୁଜ୍ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ 1 ଟ୍ରାଇବ୍ ବା କ୍ୟାଟେଗୋରୀ 1 ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଜଣାଥିଲା। And Dr. Elvin's second category of tribe, that is category 2, they are the members of this class, they come from contact with the influence of outer society. এই জনজাতি শ্রেণীর জনজাতি মানে ସେମାନେ যদিও সম্পূর্ণ ସରଳ ଇନୋସେଣ୍ଟ ନୁହନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନେ ବାହାର ସମାଜ ସହିତ ଓତଃପ୍ରୋତ ଜଡ଼ିତ ଏବଂ they are less compatible, simple and honest. ସେମାନେ in comparison to class 1 tribes ସେମାନେ ବହୁତ କମ simple ସରଳ ଅଛନ୍ତି and this type of people are more individualistic and occupied with the communication. ସେମାନେ ବହୁତ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତିବାଦ, not vested interest, they are given vested interest instead of collective interest, and they have also less acquainted with the axe cultivation through axe. Okay. The category 3 tribes, the majority of Indian tribes belongs to this category. The tribe groups of category 3 tribes of Dr. Elvin also tribe exposed external influence. They are more exposed with external influence. Whenever they are more exposing, their innocency, simplicity, honesty will be degraded. And also, due to the outer influence, this class tribe being there, they are losing their जेहेतु बाह्य संस्कृतिर संस्पर्शन सेमान निजर कल्चर संस्कृति सेमान धर्म सेमानकर भाषा रिलीजन एवं सामाजिक संगठन परिवार विवाह एगुड़ा को धीरे धीरे सेमान दे आर लूजिंग, ओके। And also some opines that this tribe are only tribal in name but really they are backward Hindus. Who said tribes are backward Hindu? G.S. Gure, Indian sociologist, he said that the tribals are backward Hindus. The fourth category, the Bhil and Naga belongs to this category, Naga tribe. The members of this category or tribe, they are succeeded in the battle of cultural contact and they maintain the retain of their culture. ସେମାନେ ଯଦି ବାହାର ସଂସ୍ପର୍ଶରେ ଆସନ୍ତି କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନେ ସଂସ୍କୃତିକୁ ବଜାୟ ରଖିବାର ସେମାନେ ସମର୍ଥ ହୋଇଯାନ୍ତି। Dr. Elvin also explained in this manner in these 4 tribal groups. And the last one, that is on the basis of economic development, tribals into various tribes. So, important socio-anthropologists, Dr. Madan and Majumdar, they have given 6-fold classification of Indian tribes on the basis of economic development. ଅର୍ଥନୈତିକ ବିକାଶ ବା ପ୍ରଗତିକୁ ଭିତ୍ତି କରି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଶ୍ରେଣୀ ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି ଫୁଡ୍ ଗ୍ୟାଦରିଂ ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍। ଦ ଟ୍ରାଇବ୍ସ ହୁ ପ୍ରାଇମେରଲି ଡିପେଣ୍ଡସ୍ ଅନ୍ ଫୁଡ୍ କଲେକ୍ଟିଂ ଆଣ୍ଡ ହଣ୍ଟିଂ କମ୍ ଅଣ୍ଡର ଦିସ୍ କ୍ୟାଟେଗୋରୀ। ଜଙ୍ଗଲରୁ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ସଂଗ୍ରହ କରିବା ଏବଂ ଶିକାର କରିବା ଏମାନଙ୍କର ମୁଖ୍ୟ କାମ। ଦେ କଲେକ୍ଟ ଫ୍ରୁଟ୍ସ, ହନି, ଉଡ୍, ଲିଭ୍ସ etc. from forest, okay, and also hunting birds and animals they eat, okay, and they also collect these foods. Particularly the Brihar, the Chenchu, the Kadar tribes belongs to it category. Brihar, Chenchu, Andhra, Kadar, Tamil Nadu, they belongs to. The second tribes by Dr. Madan and Majumdar, that's the agriculture tribes. The tribes who cultivate land and sow seed and accept agriculture as their primary occupations and mode of living, they are coming under this type of category, agriculture category. Particularly Khasi, northeastern, Tharu, Santal, Munda, Oran, Bhil, Mina, Koya tribes that belongs to this agricultural category. The third category of Madana Majumdar, that is shifting cultivations. Shifting cultivations, the certain tribe practice shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation, the tribes they select a hill forest tract for the purpose and abandon it after 3 succeeding generations. गोटे पहाड़ जंगल बुदा गच्छ छोट छोट गच्छ एवं काटिदेवे और पोड़ीदे चाष कले और 2-3 जेनेरेशन पर चेंज करते कारण दैट फर्टाइल बिकम्स इनफर्टाइल उर्वरता ह्रास पाए तेणु एंड दिस इज द रीजन द सॉइल लूजेस इट्स फर्टिलिटी बिकम्स इनफर्टाइल and they set fire plants, shrubs and ashes to produce as a manure. Okay. In Assam, this type of cultivation is known as jhum. Assam re jhum konti. The Gond tribes call it podu. See jo shifting cultivation taku podu chasa madhya kuajae. Juan, Khasi, Garo, Kharia, Riyan, Swabara, Naga, Gond tribe they are practice this shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation bartaman restricted hi jaisi karan soil erosion and deforestation jogu emanku restricted government has take restriction and their tribal traditional agriculture is becoming hampered. Okay, this is shifting cultivation. Then handicrafts, some of the tribes from different categories community subsisting of crafts, basket making, spinning, weaving, rope making, tool making, metal works, basketry and pottery. These are the very handicraft or manual work among the various tribes. They are more skillful workers also. And the last, the penultimate tribes, that is pastoralism. Some of the tribes, the subsistence pastoral economy. The tribes belong to this category do not practice hunting and fishing or agriculture. Rather, they are far away from the modern civilizations, this type of pastoralism tribes. Okay. But possess slight developed social structure than food gatherer and hunters tribes. They are slight improved and developed than food gatherers tribes. Okay. And this pastoral group, they maintain their livelihood through rearing of cows, sheep, buffaloes, goats and other domestic animals. Okay. And various tribes like Bhutia in Uttar Pradesh, Toda, Gujar, Gadis, Bekarwal in Himachal Pradesh. These are the various tribes that are practicing or belongs to pastoralism category. And the last one by Madan and Majumdar on the basis of economic development. Okay, the last one that is known as industrial labors. Shilpi Shramiko. The tribes who are engaged in industrial labors, they give up their traditional occupations and work in modern industry or factories. Okay, they are engaged. These tribal groups they engage in instead of agriculture and hunting, but they engage in various industries, various companies or factories as a worker. And tribes from this category either migrated or industry established their nearby area. जदि कौन नखर अंचल जंगल गोटे इंडस्ट्री फैक्ट्री हम ताल सेफ्टिक करा पड़ो डिस्प्लेसमेंट हाँ पड़ो एवं फास्ट प्रायोरिटी दिहब से कम करने इंडस्ट्री आउ से आक्वेंटेड कम करने निज एरिया. ओके. एंड द लास्ट वन इज द वेरियस ट्राइब्स of last category, they are Santal, Ho, Bhuya, Munda, Gond tribes. They are belongs to the industrial labor category. Okay, so these all are the composition or particularly tribal composition of Indian society. We have discussed details one by one. Okay, these are all the all of tribal composition of Indian society.